I mean, no, it is older. Like, I was playing PS2 games in, like, 2001, just this is a later game.
But didn't the PS3 come out in, like, 2005?
No, it came out, like, 2008.
Really?
I think
Yeah.
so. Pretty sure, like, 2008, 2009.
What the hell was I doing in 2008, 2009?
I think.
Oh, yeah, I was going to college. How did that work out?
Wow.
Wait, hold on. No. Because I think the 360 came out in
Guessing
05.
we're recording?
I mean, it's rolling.
It's rolling, we're recording. Welcome back, everybody, to Shootin the Shibby. I'm Spencer, there's Brian, there's Bob.
I'm going to look it up. I'm probably wrong. I think it was, it might have been 2006, 2007. If that's the case, why the fuck did this come out on the PS2?
Why did Persona 3 come out at the PS2 in 2005? I don't know.
That's not what I'm asking. This is the best RPG of 2007.
Wow, it's like the
This
creators
game came out in
can
2006.
give it whatever review they want. I'm going to put it out there.
This game
I think
came out in 2006.
I think the best RPG ever is
PS.
subjective to the person playing it or the person that created it.
Because I, if I had to choose, I'd probably choose the Mass Effect trilogy.
Elmo's Number Adventure by far best RPG.
I actually own that game for PS1.
I have it for N64. Got it for my little brother. I ended up playing it more than he did.
Same.
November 17, 2006 in North America. So then the PS3 is out. Why the fuck are you making games for the PS2?
Probably because it was
in production.
It was right when the PS3 came out.
They didn't want to do a Star Fox Venture or Star Fox Adventures. What was the GameCube one?
Star Fox Adventure and Star Fox Assault.
Right. Star Fox Adventures were supposed to be on N64 as a completely different game, and then they ported it to GameCube.
The girl
and then
cat or whatever, not a cat.
the furry stream, yeah. Crystal.
Crystal.
Yes.
Yeah, Crystal with a K.
Indeed.
Because she's exotic as fuck.
Stripper.
And it had
Never look her up on the internet. Never.
Rule 34.
Holy furry. There's a lot of it.
I learned something, actually. I'm part of like a drifting Facebook group. There are a lot of furries that are into Japanese cars.
I was waiting for him to say, like, I'm a part of this drifting furry group. And
No, I mean,
someone in a furry costume drifting like an NSX or something around.
it's called Super Eurobeat Drift Posting, and it's yeah, there's like whole threads on like furries drawn next to their cars, and they're really well
waiting
done.
for him to name the group, and if you take like the first letter of each thing and put it together, it spells furry.
Let's see, S-E-D-P,
Well, no, obviously,
furry, got it.
I say obviously the group you named wasn't it, but
Actually, if
if
you
you
add
did
Val-
name the group and you were like, yeah, it's the, you spelled it out, and I'm like, Spencer, you put the first letter together, it spells furry, and you're like, huh? You actually look at it, you think it's cars the whole time we look at it. It's
Well, actually,
just furry porn.
Sweatpay is how you
Fun
say.
Uncles really raced yesterday.
That's actually a genius name. I would join that page and then whale.
I want to join that page and just like have a picture of a car, but if you look at like the inside the picture of a car, it's like furry paws in the window.
Oh, they put that shit on the outside, man. So it's just like stickers and paint and stuff. There's no shame. I gotta say, the best.
No.
part
I want to like subtly be about furry
Really into the
porn.
tailpipe.
Well, the best part is half that group like embraces the furries, half the group doesn't care, and the other half is just like, I hate furries. That's right.
And then the fourth
we
half
are
is really bad at
150%. We are 150%.
Put it all together, it makes more than what it is.
But it's like the mods actually like they actually boot people that start hating on the furries.
Yeah, because mods are facts.
You should join
There's
Super Eurobeat Drift Posting.
the golden rule of any organization, Reddit thread, anything ever is that if there is mods, they are facts.
Bundles.
Nothing
of
against
sticks.
gay people, just mods are facts.
Not that I have anything against it. No, I know.
That's just the thing. That's
Unfortunately,
been,
you can't use words in old internet terms nowadays because people don't get it. Like, they
Yeah.
think that you're just saying the slur
think I'm
against
just
gay people.
saying like, oh, they're shitty and stupid, and I'm calling them fags because that's what gay people are. I'm like, no, it's just that was just what the terminology was. And
You
it's nothing
can't
against them.
can't blame them though. It's like, how would they know? They only learned
Oh, no,
about
no,
they
I'm
only
saying-
learned about picture reactions like what 2-3 years ago. That was on 4chan.
Or, like, the general public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
They're
good
like,
point.
haha, look at this like meme from 2011. We're gonna make it popular. Is this a pigeon? Ha ha ha!
Fucking trash dove.
No, not that was an old. That was from like that was 2015.
What meme of a pigeon are you thinking of? Are you thinking of the
talking about
reaction animals like
no,
the
the guy was the book, and he sees the butterfly, and he says, "Is this a blank?" The original meme was supposed to be him looking at the butterfly, and he says, "Is this a pigeon?"
Yes, because isn't that a direct quote from the anime? I never looked it up. I just kind of assumed it was.
It might have been, but then
I have no idea what the origin.
But then it became
of that
like a thing that people just did again, and then Facebook got a hold of it, and everyone and their mother. And I literally mean everyone and their mother had to post a pigeon meme.
I do
Facebook ruins everything.
Facebook
I don't know, man. Facebook is way more organized and easier to follow than 4chan. I will put that one out there right now.
Yeah,
it's also unfortunately
it's because it's for normie trash like you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not the one.
I say as a man who never goes on 4chan.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I was actually on 4chan.
I went on 4chan
every time I go on B now, it's just the same. You laugh, you lose, and gore threads. It's all I ever see. Like, and the 2 times I visit a year.
Is there a Q thread?
A Q thread?
You said B, so is there a Q?
Do you not know what? No. What?
I know literally nothing about 4chan.
B is the random thread. That's the thread that was so famous for like people hosting child porn for a while, and just where you had all the people that would either predict the shootings or just crazy stuff, but also at the same time the B thread is where you would. Oh no, I think it was the poll thread where they found Shia LaBeouf's secret flag. That was magical. You know that one?
No.
Shia LaBeouf, he went on this huge social justice warrior thing where we will not divide us.
Yes,
so he had a flag. It got torn down. He put it in some remote location in Arizona, and people on 4chan there was a 24-hour feed of the flag, and so they actually used the flight patterns of the planes going by and the constellations in the sky to locate it. And someone went out. On top of that, someone took the time to go out of their own way to go out and grab the flag and run with it. And that's kind of cool. I mean, that's pretty. Just a bunch of random people on the internet.
Also, like people in 4chan found like the Boston bomber too, or something like that.
That was Reddit who thought
citation needed.
Reddit thought they found the Boston bomber, and then it turned out just to be some random person. And because of all like the hate mail and all that other stuff, directed towards this random innocent person, that person actually wound up killing themselves.
Oh, fun. Good job, Reddit. We did it, Reddit.
Well, that's actually where the joke, we did it, Reddit, is.
Oh, I thought that was just like a thing that people just did.
No, we're just, they solved the Boston bombing.
Nope, you just pushed an innocent person to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Bah. So speaking of things that ended darkly, I went to the Race of Gentlemen over the weekend.
Yes, how was that? Aside from apparently ending darkly.
Yeah, we'll get to the end. Pretend the part where I didn't say all that stuff in the beginning. It was awesome.
Nobody ended a gentleman. Everyone was a jerk.
I hope the sound of the washing machine comes up on here instead of a cricket.
The washing machine's over there. You're thinking
the dishwasher.
There you go, champ.
The sitting right there.
Wow, was not going for that, sexist pig.
Nazi. I went to the Race of Gentlemen. Actually,
hey, it looks like you didn't leave a gentleman. Looks like you left a jerk. Sir, and my joke comes full circle.
This is This is based around racing in the 1940s. Okay, suffrage wasn't a thing yet. Okay.
Oh my God.
But suffrage was over.
No, women are still suffering, Brian. It's not fair.
The women's suffrage was about the right to vote.
I know.
Dingus.
This is the joke.
Paris.
Good for you. I don't want Paris. Are they all Paris? Are all of your coasters Paris?
Yes.
Why?
Because Corinne got nice Paris coasters.
They were on sale.
She got 3 Paris.
You got discount France. Congratulations.
Hey, look, it's white, just like their flag.
So the Race of Gentlemen.
That took me a second.
Of course it did.
I surrender. The Race of Gentlemen was really cool because, so it was based around hot rod culture of the 1940s. So taking like Model A's, Model T's, the old like the quintessential hot rods.
What about Model D's?
Didn't come out with those. The Tesla made the Model D actually.
Model D's nuts.
Don't worry, Twitter had plenty of dick jokes that Tesla totally embraced. But
which makes it even better.
I love Tesla. 1940s Harley Davidson bikes and whatnot, and they raced on the beach in Wildwood. They would do an 8th mile on the beach. And it was cool because like you get there and the front entrance kind of looked like an old timey carnival sign where it's just like a bunch of cut pieces of plywood with like a face that you like walk into, and then all the signs there are all made from cloth and they're all tattered and whatnot.
That's
and
awesome.
There's like an old timey Louisiana jazz sounding band there that was playing music while you go to like the speakeasy to get a beer. I learned what an old fashioned is. It tastes like motor oil with a hint of spice and orange. If you like whiskey, you'll probably love it, but bleh.
I was going to say, you never had an old fashioned before?
No, especially because my friend and I...
That's like the most generic mixed drink you can get.
See, my friend and I always thought that whole old fashioned kind of meant hand jobs, so we were confused for a second. But no, apparently it's a whiskey drink. Oh, you got an old fashioned. You know, come on.
Yeah, it's whiskey
one old fashioned,
I
please.
think whiskey and bitters, I believe.
It
Or
was
bourbon and bitters. One of the two.
It was extra bitter. There was an orange slice in there somewhere, though. It was good. But it was just really cool because it wasn't even just about the cars and the racing. It was about the culture of the time itself. And you're walking around, you have like all these and none of the cars are pretty looking. They're all like beat up and patinaed and whatnot. And the rules are that these vehicles have to run basically on the original drivetrain. So you have all the flathead V8 Fords, panhead Harleys, all the other heads that I don't know because I don't know vehicles that old that well. And it's just like the sounds and the smells and everything was just amazing. Like if you look up pictures and the Instagram, it was phenomenal. Unfortunately, though, there's a reason why vintage racing was vintage and it teetered away into more modern racing. It's fucking dangerous. And this is the 8th year they've never had a crash, and this year they had 2. A gentleman on a motorcycle wiped out, and he rolled, and apparently the bike rolled over him. I didn't witness that one. But the second day, there's a guy from Japan who was nicknamed Sushi, and he was racing. He is a monster. But he was racing down. He got speed wobble where your front wheel starts wiggling back and forth, and he couldn't hold it. So he ditched the bike and jumped. But I guess his shoulder kind of caught into a rut because like when he hit the sand, he didn't slide. He just
Ooh.
Yeah. And so he was just down for the count. The only thing that was not vintage there was the EMS vehicles. So good for that. That was a good thing. But like there was silence, and then the announcer kind of like or I guess I don't know if it was the guy that ran the show or whatnot, but he got on. He was just like, I'm tired of seeing my friends get hurt. This might be the last race of gentlemen. He was very choked up about it and sounding. And I mean, I hate to sound insensitive, but I'm thinking about it in my head like this is part of racing.
Yeah,
like
especially vintage racing like that.
Like we all romanticize vintage culture, the styling, the music, the food, the drinks. You know, everyone just kind of forgets the racism and the misogyny and the polio. Yeah, I forgot who did it. I think it was College Humor. Did the whole bit of like, yes, they did.
It was like, I think I'd really like, I would excel in like the 1920s. So like, oh yeah, Gatsby parties and blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, and people dying of like polio.
Oh, well, that's not my 1920s.
It's like, yeah, no. And also, what about the like huge racism everyone had back then?
Oh yeah. But that's just it. Like people romanticize. You know, when you go to a Renaissance fair, they're not replicating leprosy,
or the fact or it's like, oh, I got a splinter. Well, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah, right? They don't replicate peasants shitting in the streets. They forgot that part. But it's just, and again, because I foresee if Trucks keeps going, and I really hope it does, I could see it branching into something way bigger than just about, like, based around the racing, of course, but, like, I could see way more vintage clothing companies coming out for this, because it's on Wildwood, and if you've ever been to Wildwood Beach, there's pretty much the Sahara Desert between the boardwalk and the water. Like, it is vast.
It's huge.
It is gigantic, and they probably used maybe a quarter of the surface area, and so I felt terrible, and I mean the guy went balls to the wall too. Like he was cooking. But it's just, I don't know. It's like in 1955, Mercedes actually, it was 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the biggest races, still goes on today. They had a crash in front of the grandstand and ended up killing, I think, 83 people between the motor flying into the stand and shrapnel. And Mercedes didn't re-enter racing until 1989. like because it's kind of a big undertaking. But like,
Oh, for sure.
as much as we all like the vintage aspect of clothing and whatnot, when you take these old school vehicles that are still running on their old school motors, suspension, and everything else, like the old school hazards come with it as well.
Yeah.
So I really hope Trog does not end. If anything, hopefully maybe they'll stick to just hot rods because it was just so cool. I mean, you had what they call belly pan cars, which is where they took like it was like the old school like space age looking aerodynamic vehicles where they kind of just pretty much look like a needle with wheels on it, and it was such a cool time. Me speaking doesn't do it justice. Like, go look him up on Instagram and everything. And I kind of really want to build an old school Harley, except like an entry level shitbag 40s Harley is probably like 13 grand.
Oh, at least.
Why?
Well, there was a race. There's a motorcycle race that goes on every single year. It's actually going on right now, called the Isle of Man TT, where it's
I may have heard of it.
Time trials of fast motorcycle, like professional motorcycle racers.
I think it's taken the most lives of a motorcycle race too. Like,
yeah.
It's insane.
And it's one of those things where that keeps going on, and these are professional drivers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And there's, unfortunately, there's almost one fatality pretty much every single year, at the least, because of how dangerous this track is and how fast these drivers are going. And let's face it, you're riding a motorcycle. There's really not a whole lot you can do to stop yourself in an accident when it comes to that.
Right. I mean, a big difference between Trog and that is Trog has a few sponsors, but it seems like it's more, it takes time and dedication to build something vintage, keep it running, and sourcing the parts for it. So, like, this is a tight-knit group of people that do this, and so I completely understand. I got choked up when I saw the guy fall, because that was... this is my first year going, but he's like one of the famous guys that's there all the time, every year. I mean, there was a guy that flew in from France. He was, sushi from Japan. There was a person from Germany.
So did that guy who like went to the sand? Did like they rush him to the hospital? Or
yeah, he's in stable condition. I don't.
Good.
I mean, I think if anything, he probably broke a few bones or something. I mean, if I'm saying that like it's not, but
he's not dead.
No, didn't die. And one thing they also have to look out. I mean, I don't know how. This one's speculation. This was kind of a heard over, but they might have been wearing 1930s helmets that aren't quite DOT approved anymore. They're not supposed to be, but some people. I don't know.
Vintage.
Yes, vintage.
Right. This was also the day and age where they played American football with, sheepskin on their
Leatherheads.
head.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, leather? Oh,
Leatherheads.
Cow skin.
That's what they call the early football before it was what it is now. They call them leatherheads.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So this was the same time period. So the helmets.
Yeah.
There were
No.
like
You look.
a
You look
chunk
to
of metal that will cut you if you fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. You look to how they used to play football, and it's just like, wow. I can only imagine how many concussions they got compared to what we have in football now. I just want to imagine. Well, granted, everyone's a lot stronger, faster.
The CTE was strong back then.
Yeah, but also like they weren't as like I don't think they were as fit, as strong. Like they weren't as fast as they are now, compared to then.
I don't know, man. I see some modern sports people, and they don't look too fit or strong, especially in baseball. Was it you that showed me the picture of the guy with the gut? I was having a discussion with someone because...
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, there's going to be those guys, you look at CC Sabathia as, like, the New York Yankees pitcher.
Yeah, I think.
He's a New York Yankees pitcher.
He's a very
big,
large human.
big boy.
And give it,
And, and I'm saying, like, yeah, if you look at him, sure. But also look at A-Rod when he was playing. The guy had the body of a Greek god. Like, it was insane.
So hot.
Look at, like, any normal fucking NFL player. Their bodies are just, like...
They're lean and mean.
Look at James Harrison. Look at that man work out.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking... Dude, his body is just a one giant muscle. Like, he's just literally a human muscle.
I have one ab. It's right there.
He is a muscle that has a head on top.
Hey, man.
You watch that man work out. Like people who bench, they bench like this. He takes two of them and benches it like this.
He benches the benches.
Like he takes two bench press bars and fucking just like with both arms and just goes like fucking like this. Like he's insane.
So it's just really long dumbbells at that point.
Basically. Really long and fucking heavy dumbbells.
Indeed.
That's incredible.
Because also you have to take in like into consideration like the whole weight distribution of that and trying to do that with one arm.
Oh yeah, no.
The bar itself,
because the bar itself is heavy too.
I do CrossFit. I know what you're talking about.
Fuck you. The average weight of like the normal bar of that shit, isn't that like 45 pounds? Like the bar alone.
I don't think the bar itself is 45 pounds.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But I know it's heavy.
I'm pretty sure it's
incredibly
at
heavy.
least 45 pounds.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like you have to have the weight, and then you add, the one weight on one side, the one weight on the other side.
I think it's 45 because then the max that they give you for the people are gonna fucking laugh at me, but the max for like the circles that you put on the weights. Fuck you.
Plates?
Yeah, the circle weights. Plates, whatever. Yeah.
The plates.
Yeah. The max those goes up to is 45.
Huh.
Well,
then you can put extra 45.
Yeah, but you say you put another 45, and then.
But you also have to balance it out.
What are you trying to discuss here? Like,
no,
how do plates work?
No, I'm discussing
the bar's 45 pounds.
That's what I was saying. I was saying the bar's 45.
Yes, it is.
Because then the plates that you put on, they max out at 45.
Yep, but then you can put more plates on.
Well, yeah, no shit. I know. I was getting to that.
And here I am
asshole.
looking like a wuss, having a hard time just pushing the bar up and doing a bench press on that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone starts somewhere. If you can't push the bar, you start with a stick. If you can't do that, just start fist pumping in the air. Like, seriously, start somewhere.
Is that?
Don't laugh at that. Let people.
No. Was that the whole premise of like Jersey Shore when they're like fist pumping? They're like,
precisely.
Get ready for the bar.
Work it out,
Precisely.
man. God, fuck that show, man. I hate that show so much.
So, Gear Shifter IPA, perfect trog beer. I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
go my Jimmy Neutron cup.
Well, so
Quick sidebar. So I was watching the Smash Brothers like announcement trailer from like months ago when they announced like there's a new Smash Brothers, and it's still up in the air on whether it's a port or a new game. I think it's a new game.
Well, isn't their E3 thing tonight?
E3 is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Sony's tonight.
Sony's tonight, that's right.
Yeah.
9 o'clock Eastern.
9 o'clock Eastern, Sony tonight.
Are we watching that?
Meaning, a.k.a. tomorrow, or a.k.a. yesterday when this episode came out. Last night. Those games looked great.
Yeah, I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is already announced twice.
You shit on me for continuity. Jesus.
And, no, so what I was talking about...
Sidebar, we record the Monday night before this episode gets released.
Tuesdays at 11 Eastern time. So
be there.
But there was a great video. Any of you guys,
mowers and hedges and clippers and hedges.
Either you guys ever watch Video Game Donkey?
No.
Video Game Donkey.
He's fucking hilarious.
My brother loves him.
He's hilarious.
I've never heard of him.
I'll show you some videos later. But he did a video where he was talking about the Smash announcement trailer, and because the thing is, like, because it starts off there, it's the two Splatoon people shooting each other, like the boy and the girl, and like the Splatoon girl like looks back and she's like, and like in the eyes she sees like the Smash Brothers logo, and then you see like the logos on like fire and everything, and then like you see Mario, the silhouette of Mario, a silhouette of Link in his Breath of the Wild costume, and then like a bunch of other people, but like you can't see him that well, just like the faint lighting of like from the fire, and it's like you kind of have to speculate on who the rest of them are, but one of them that you kind of knew who it was Donkey Kong. But when Donkey was doing his, he was like, now if you see this next person, obviously it is clearly, I don't even know why people are arguing this one, it's clearly Jimmy Neutron. And he's just like, Jimmy Neutron is finally making his debut to Smash. People have been waiting for this one for years. It's so good.
Joke's on him. I'm actually okay with that.
I would be curious to see how that, because he could be fun because he have all the different like toys and weapons he pulls out, as all those different moves.
I would actually hate it if he was in that game.
I feel like
Why?
he'd be similar to like an
because
Olimar.
Because then he would be in the Nintendo canon.
No, because then if you like, I started having a problem with all the third-party characters Nintendo was putting.
Don't be a purist.
No, because then you start turning into PlayStation All Stars, and that game sucks.
PlayStation, it does, yeah, but it sucks
but
because it completely plays
Smash
like a
Brothers.
different game.
But I'm saying a big problem also is just like, it's, I don't know. It's because like when you play Smash Brothers, like you can at least understand like these people exist in the same world, and it's not that weird. While I was trying to play PlayStation All Stars, and you have like fucking Parappa the Rapper versus like Fat Princess and fucking Kratos and Sweet Tooth.
How do all
And
the
I'm just
Nintendo
like-
people exist in the same world?
No, but you look at them and you're like, these people look like they would exist in the same
Really?
world.
Because
Like,
when they
their
started
art
putting all
styles
the
are
jab, no,
Yes.
Kirby and Ness. Oh no, I mean I'm sorry, not Kirby.
Kirby and Ness,
Kirby
yes.
and Roy.
Yeah,
Kirby and Roy belong in the same realm. Fucking Toon Link and Normal Link. How about that? They're two different art styles. That's the whole fun of Smash. Is all different moves, the different art styles.
I
and
know,
what you get
but
creativity of it.
no, but still, they feel like they would exist in the same world at least, though. But it's saying you look at like fucking
I couldn't disagree
Parappa the
more.
Rapper and like Sweet Tooth, and it's just like.
I would love to watch Marth and Roy ripping Kirby World to shreds. Don't get me wrong; they do not look like that they exist in the same world.
Yeah,
And especially like or like Solid Snake and Yoshi. Like,
Solid Snake's no longer in the games.
but point being is that
Which is disappointing.
they've never stuck
I kind of
to.
liked him in there.
I just started playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, because it was free for Xbox Live Games with Gold.
Oh, nice.
My point being is they never
Anyway.
abided to the similar art styles. They always kept it the same. The reason why the PlayStation one sucks because the gameplay sucked.
Well, no, besides the gameplay itself, but like you look at the character models of the characters in PlayStation All-Stars, and it's just like you see like the nitty-gritty like Sweet Tooth, where it's just like he's looked to be in a darker game, his hair's on fire, he's got the big sword or whatever, and then you look at Parappa the Rapper and it's just like, oh, here is a
I love that
brightly
contrast.
colored,
Generic
I love that
90s.
contrast.
like just how
about- how about
it
Mr.
doesn't look like it should be together.
You're right. They all look like they belong in Mr. Game & Watch's world. You're right. My bad.
No, but even Mr. Game & Watch, he's just like
He doesn't look like he belongs there. That's
No,
the
he
cool-
does. He does.
How? He's on a 2D plane in a 3D game.
Yeah, but listen, you're not understanding.
Oh, I do. I just think you're wrong.
But of course, like they're not going to use the actual like what Mr. Game & Watch looked like in his actual Mr. Game & Watch thing. They stylized him a little bit.
No, they didn't. It's just the same.
Look at Mr. Game & Watch in his fucking original form when he's just blocky and shit, and then look at him in Smash Brothers. Whoa, he's
got
circled.
curves.
He's a little more stylized in it.
Oh, he's
it
less
made it
pixely.
look like it actually fits in the fucking game. While you look at PlayStation All-Stars, it's like they just took, okay, I'm taking the character model from this game, the character model from this game. It doesn't look like they should be in the same, but fuck it. I don't care. I don't want to fucking like bother making them look different. If you look at any of the characters and like look
You and I
at
can go take a break.
look at
He's
fucking
on this
look at the
rant.
Fire Emblem characters. They look way different.
We'll be right back, folks. Let
Fuck
Brian
you.
finish.
Fuck you. No, I'm not sitting here ranting at myself.
You pretty much are anyway, because we're not part of this.
No, I'm ranting at you. You're at least sitting here, so I can at least pretend like I'm yelling at you. No, but if you
How to make your nerd friend screech.
It's Shibby Bingo.
look at the Fire Emblem characters in their games, and then look at them in Smash Brothers. They reworked them to look at least like they fit in the fucking game.
Are you trying to say they modernized the game for vintage? Yes, but the point
No,
being
I'm saying they changed their art style. Maybe it's not much, and if you take them at their original forms, no, they shouldn't be in the same game together. But they changed their styles a little bit so that they do look like they should be in the games together. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I still think you're wrong. I mean, Game & Watch and like Ganondorf don't look like they should be in the same Smash game in the Smash context. They just don't. It looks, but that's what I enjoy.
See,
I like the contrast.
But
I
also,
see where you're
Game &
coming
Watch,
from.
Game & Watch
Okay,
also
yes.
is a solid color. He's not some like brightly different colored person.
Kirby and Ganondorf, goddammit. Kirby and Ganondorf.
Gandalf versus Kirby.
I'm really not as big of a nerd as I used to be. I'm screwing up all my names. No, Kirby and Ganondorf don't look like they should be in the same game.
But
Yoshi
they
and
at
Link
least
don't look.
stylize the characters so that they look like they at least they look different from what they are in their games normally, but they change the look of the characters a little bit and
update them
stylize
to modern
update them
technology.
so that they look like they were at least drawn by the same person. What I'm saying is,
I see where you're coming
you
from.
do
now.
see where I'm coming from. So it's like essentially, it's like my problem
did the
with
same
the show
thing in
The
the
World of
PlayStation
World of
one, then.
Gumball. It's the same thing.
See,
Why I don't like the show.
I love the
World-
animation in that show.
But it looks like they took 12 different people to draw all the characters, and they were just like, you draw how you look like this person looks.
it's
you
like
do yours. You do yours. It's like the main character on a 2D field, but also there's a 3D dinosaur. Also there's a 2D ghost, but there's also like a 3D other person.
You're no longer a Toys R Us kid, are you?
No, I'm fine with that, but it just looks out of place. That can be done well.
Well, nobody's a Toys R Us kid.
Out of place.
Toys are kid. Well,
Well, yeah,
that's the whole point, though. Is the cartoon style is like a ransom note. Like, it's all just magazine clippings and stuff that are just completely different and don't mesh, but that's what makes it fun.
I get that, but it's just like it
I think
takes you out of it.
I think where Brian's coming from is he appreciates the aesthetics of the Super Smash Brothers version.
Thank you for being the guidance counselor.
Because they're updating the graphics
Yes.
and making it look the same,
looks
like it
like
all
They
came out.
updated it for the other one, too.
Like it looks like
like
it
the-
came out of the same era, at least, like an updated Mario, an updated Ganondorf, like that kind of stuff. Whereas PlayStation
Yes.
All Stars is kind of like what Brian said. Oh,
They're
parappa
just
from
like,
PS1. Okay, cool. PS1 and
send me the fucking
PS3 over
file
here?
of the
Okay, cool.
character.
Well, they still
model for
rounded
this
out the
guy.
edges, just like they did Game
Throw
&
it in.
Watch.
There you go. But that's it for PlayStation All Stars. Like they don't look like they were designed by the same. I mean, yes, they weren't designed by the same person, obviously. But like for the character models for the game, they were
the
like
art style doesn't
the
match
art style.
from
They were
player
just
to player,
like,
or
all right,
character
just
to character.
give me what you took from the game, and I'll just fucking throw it in there, whatever.
I think you need
Like
your eyes
obviously,
checked.
like even
but
Mario and Link don't look like each other. Mario looks like
short,
a
roundy, and
fucking-
chubby, and Link is all edgy.
Link's face looks like a normal person's face, minus the ears, obviously.
And the nose.
and the nose and like the
Yeah,
pointiness.
But you know, look at
And he must get his eyebrows
look
waxed
at the
every
Fire
day.
Emblem people. Their faces look like it should be like a normal person's face. While Mario, if you put him in the real world, he'd be a fucking like weird, fucked up
always
looking
pictured
person.
Mario-
Maybe
is
it's just
Danny
you
DeVito.
maybe it's just you that has an issue with finding the line between reality and video game reality. Maybe it's all just
I
finally
don't-
you
I
play
don't-
so
I
much that it's just
don't.
all coming together. It's all
I
the same.
don't,
That's
but
kind of
what I'm
magical
saying is
though.
I'm
like I have to
appreciating it.
dream. You live it every day. That's awesome.
I'm saying I appreciate the fact that they took the time to at least make the characters look like they were made by the same person.
I don't
That's
think
fair.
they did that at all. Well, we can compare sprites after, but I'm. Bob, how was your weekend?
Well, no, I mean, speaking of video games, I'll get to
God damn it.
like I was- speaking of video games,
Please,
though,
I listened to you talk about cars for an
there is
episode
a
and a half.
very large,
Yeah, but that was fun.
Good for you.
very large expo going
I
on
didn't get angry over it.
right now. Brian, I'm sure you and I can talk
Yes.
about this.
E3?
Yes.
I know what E3 is.
Well,
Jesus.
and you didn't want to talk about it.
I didn't say I want to talk about it. I just didn't want to hear Brian screeching anymore.
But there's some huge games that came out. The one
I'm not screeching.
The one expo
Best
that I was
member vote.
looking forward to the most was the
Cool, less work for
Bethesda
me.
update, or the Bethesda thing.
Conference.
Thank you. Words. I was really looking forward to it because I love the Fallout games.
The
and
manifest
I,
of people.
Yes. I was really looking forward to that, and then the skit that they released with Keegan Mike and Michael Key was hysterical. Have you seen it, or have either of you seen
I
it?
didn't watch it yet, but is that the one where he plays Skyrim on the Alexa?
Yes.
I heard of it, but I
It
didn't watch
was
it
hysterical.
Play Skyrim with the Amazon thing?
It was just like it was a
yet.
skit.
There's a running meme that Todd Howard, who is the director behind Skyrim, I
think so.
That he likes to make Skyrim on every possible platform he can, because it's on almost every fucking gaming platform you could think of. And so,
then some.
Yeah, and so the joke is that he wants to put Skyrim on everything because it came out. People forget Skyrim came out 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 2011. Came out November 11th, 2011.
ones-
It was 11/11/11. I remember.
Weren't
that.
there ones before that too?
Elder Scrolls?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Elder Scrolls
Yes,
5.
Skyrim was 5.
Skyrim's a game.
But
Okay.
instead of saying every time you want to talk about Skyrim, you would just say Skyrim instead of saying the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Right.
Because there was the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion,
Oblivion. It was
3
all,
Morrowind, 2 something, and then just regular Elder Scrolls.
and then the Elder Scrolls. But they did just now announce Elder Scrolls 6.
yeah, did they say what it was called?
I don't think so.
Like Vinewood or something?
Vinewood is GTA.
No,
I mean, I'd pay to see that, but
Elder Scrolls San Andreas.
no, but I could have sworn there was like I think someone made
Fusro busted.
like
We
a
got to go on the
mock-up.
quest, CJ.
I think someone made a mock-up and it was called like Vinewood or something. But I don't know. Actually, that'd be pretty funny.
I would love a Grand Theft Auto Skyrim.
Would love like
That would be amazing.
a Elder Scrolls
I'm sure there's a mod
GTA.
for it somewhere.
It's just like you go to talk to someone, and it's just like, yeah. It's like, welcome to my town. It's like your first thing. You got any drugs, bitch?
You just see like an old guy's like,
steal my dragon.
"Stop, you there!" And it's just like Gandalf with a red bandana.
I used to be a gangster like you, but then I took a bullet to the leg.
I wonder what the hot coffee mod would look like in that.
Oh, there's
Lots of dragon dicks. Dragon dicks everywhere.
You want what the hot coffee mod is for the Elder Scrolls games? They made a whole show about it. It's called Game of Thrones.
That was a zinger.
Touche.
Never saw an episode.
Never saw an episode either.
Me neither.
Yay! Finally, something mainstream that we
we're
all
losers.
don't know anything
We're
about.
losers.
See, everyone keeps telling me I would love that show, and I'm like, I'll get to it eventually.
There's too many characters. There's too much.
All of them die.
And I've also never liked the whole like mythological dragon shit. Like it's just never been my thing.
I don't know, man. After watching Harmon Quest, I really want to play D&D. I really want to play D&D.
That
That's
I want to
different.
do. That's different.
Well,
because
it's all
you're-
based around magical.
Yeah, but
you're
you're involved.
Yes, I am.
Wanna
You're
watch the
involved
show.
with, Game of Thrones. You're just like,
We
a lot of
know. South Park. Yeah.
I mean, there's boobs, which is always fun.
Yeah, I got that on the
I can go on
internet.
the internet for boobs. Like
Yeah.
that's not. We're not living in the day and age where it's like it's like the 90s or early 2000s. Where
Time to watch
I
Cinemax.
saw someone share a meme that it was a cute hamster. It's like, for more pictures, go to xhamster.com.
Oh.
It's like what was it called?
If you choose to go to that website, please be 18 or older.
Yeah.
It's a porn site.
I'm sure there's a hamster in there somewhere.
One of my friends got me.
Hamtaro.
It was when
what are you doing here?
Gerbil. Oh.
There was there was one time my friend got me. It was like when YouTube was just got to mainstream. So of course 2 years after I got into it.
As you push up your glasses.
So YouTube just got into like the
Metaphorical
mainstream,
glasses.
and my friend was just like, "Yo, you still use YouTube?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "You gotta go to RedTube. That's where it's at." And I was like, "Oh, okay." That was on my dad's computer, and
even
went
worse.
on RedTube, and then yeah,
I legitimately got. My mom was looking for utensils like pencils and
told her to go to Penn
pens.
Island?
I did tell her to go to Penn Island, and she did. She also went to Dix.com to buy sporting stuff before Dix actually bought the site. It was DickSportingGoods.com that she was.
I was
going to
say, I'm pretty sure that they would have to be Dick's Sporting Goods. That's why
I think they
website.
finally go to Dix.com. I think Dix.com is finally for the sporting goods place.
Yeah, I will never.
I
go
don't
to that
sports
website.
too often,
I always
so I don't really look
it
at
up
it.
Here's my
and
thing.
Google it first.
Here's my thing. Does anyone even type in URLs anymore?
www. No.
I always just go to Google, and it's like, say I want to go to Facebook, I'll just be like, Facebook, done.
See, for me,
Granted, I
it
don't have
like
a bookmark of that,
autocompletes.
but like,
For me, it'll always
True.
autocomplete. So I'll just do FAC and then hit enter. Everything's like shortcut for me.
yeah. So it's either short, like I honestly can't tell you the last time I actually went on the internet and was just like www.websitenamehere.com.
I had a professor in college who would do the typical Google, but he would just type Google.
My fiance and I both had a teacher who would Google.
Did that crash the internet?
Like literally, he would.
Google breaks and says,
No!
now own
Don't
Google.
divide by 0!
They had to divide by 0 to like undo her Googling of Google.
And that's how Zuckerberg was born.
This professor would type in the top Google, hit enter, and then go to Google to look up whatever else it was, and then be like, I'm looking for a video. Google YouTube.
Oh
And then
my
it would just
God.
Google YouTube would.
That's just
would
like
show up in the
watching
search results.
Zuckerberg deal
And
with
it's just like,
It's like watching Zuckerberg deal with all the senators. If you don't charge people money on Facebook, how do you make money? We run ads. But how do you know the ads make the money? We
Oh yeah, I was
they
because I'm
pay
saying I'm
us.
like, all right, that's like they're gonna fucking get Zuckerberg. I know they're gonna get him this
Oh
time.
my God,
And I'm
dude.
watching it, and it's like
it was like when I
it's
worked.
like they were like, all right, who here knows about the internet? And like 90% of them raise their hands. They're like, all right, all you leave now. And it's like they go to this guy. It's like, what do you know about the internet? And he's just like, huh? It's like, you're good.
Back in
Get in
my
there.
day, we played with the Spingly Wingdirvish. And you're like, oh,
That was your.
thank you, Senator.
You used that joke before.
I just love that. In fact,
Spingly
I want
Wingdirvish
to
was
enter a vehicle into Trog
spokes
called a
term.
Spingly Wingdirvish, and it's just like a Da Vinci-styled flying machine.
Is that an
with-
actual thing?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it is.
I don't know if you're just like, yes, in the fucking 1846, they used it to plug their assholes with. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it does have. It would have a corkscrew umbrella on the top of it, so you could use that for what you
it's
please.
what they
but
call pig dicks or duck dicks. They're both corkscrew.
I think the pigtails are corkscrew.
No, the pig dicks are also. I'm pretty sure those were corkscrew.
Don't Google
Is
it.
that what you saw on X Hamster? No, I wanted to enter in a vehicle.
When someone asked me, what do you want, pig or duck? And I was like,
I wanted to make like the Da Vinci style flying machine where it has wings and then like the corkscrew umbrella looking thing on top of it. I want to put wheels on that and just be like, up next to Spencer with his Spingly Wingdirvish,
And then-
it's
and then you
bouncing
prompt-
down the beach.
and then you promptly crash, and then they're like, this is the last race of gentlemen.
No, I don't think anyone's gonna go silent for me. They're just gonna keep going on throughout the day.
I'm just be like,
They're just gonna drive. They're just gonna keep the races going while there's just a guy half dead in his Spingly Wingdirvish.
No, you're gonna crash, and they're gonna zoom in. They're gonna zoom in the announcer. He's just gonna turn to the camera, and one single tear is gonna come down his cheek.
I really hope that didn't come off as distasteful. Like Sushi, I hope the best recovery. It sucks to watch people crash. It's just, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they stopped the races after he crashed. Like they put so much
I
value.
feel like that was implied.
I didn't. I mean, dude, like crashing is a part of racing. You take care of the situation and you keep going. It's just. It's just one of those, like, this is the part where all the sensitive people tell me I'm an asshole, and I guess that's fair.
You're an asshole.
Dang.
E3.
You're sensitive.
There was something else I liked about it. Oh, there was a game I saw today, part of the Square Enix conference.
okay.
I can't say much about the game. The game very well could be good, could be bad. I don't know, but I fucking hate the name for it.
What is?
So there was a game. There was a guy walking around like a city, and he has like the generic anime protagonist haircut or whatever. But he like puts his hood up, goes into an alley, and there's like three like thug-looking guys, and they're like, "What are you doing here, punk?" And then like he takes off his hood, and he has like a bag in his hand.
I don't listen to punk, I listen to ska.
And they're just like, you know, like, oh, you want to get muffed up or whatever? I don't know. I forgot.
I
I
love
forgot
a
what he said.
muffin.
And the guy like points to his ear, and he like it's supposed to imply like he's deaf.
I was gonna
or
give him an
mute,
old-fashioned.
and can't talk. And then like I don't know. I forgot exactly what happened, but like then they go to fight him, and he the deaf mute guy beats the ever loving shit out of the three of them. And then, like, while he's on the ground, he, like, puts the bag on his face and then just walks away. And I'm like, okay. And then, like, they go to, like, the title, and it's just, like, The Quiet Man. And I was like, you called this game The Quiet Man?
What about, like, Deaf Jitsu?
It's, like, the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard. I was like, really? You have a game about, like, a mute deaf protagonist. And I think the whole thing is about, like, the game goes like it's like the sound of like what a deaf person would hear, so everything's like mute except for like maybe like very faint like.
Has there been anything recent that you liked?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Plenty of things that I like.
Like what?
Well, it's boring if I'm sitting here like I like playing XCOM 2. It's
I like
fun.
XCOM too.
No, people like positivity, gosh damn it. You know what? There was a guy at Trog who brought his own speed gun. Apparently, in this 8th mile, these motorcycles were hitting up to like a little over 50 miles an hour, and I knew because this dude with a black fedora put out his speed gun, and I was able to read it from where I was sitting. That was neat.
It's always the
speed
guys
gun
with the
fedora
fedora.
guy. This shout outs to you, sir. I drink in your name,
Milady.
which is speed gun fedora guy.
One of the games I am looking forward to though is Fallout 76,
The game looks pretty cool.
because part of me
just
thinks
bit
it's
me.
going to be like GTA Online but with Fallout, which if you think about it, it's kind of cool. 12 people online.
I like everything about it. The only thing I don't like is you can like nuke people.
Yeah.
Like you can like find like all these codes and then just like destroy someone's settlement.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
sounds
there's
awesome.
So much griefing I could see happening there. I would get so pissed.
Oh yeah, I would be
Well,
really
it's
angry.
all about it's all about anarchy and that makes sense for the story as far as I'm concerned, right? It's
That's
Fallout.
true. That is true.
It's all based around post-nuclear explosions.
Yeah, but all the nuclear explosions already happened.
Yeah, but now they're mini nukes.
There you go.
No, this is like a legit nuke. Like, you could just destroy part of the fucking map. And then you could travel there and watch the fallout.
Roll credits.
Which, granted, yes. I could see... I'm saying is, I hope there's, like, 2 different kind of servers where there's, like, you know, the griefing server and, like, the non
And then the Weenie Hut Jr. server,
I
yeah.
think
because it's like, I want to... Because then you I mean, once you get to the griefing server, there's just going to be either that one group of people who just, like, kind of takes it over and then just nukes fucking everything except for theirs, and it's like, well, I can't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. I can understand, like, haha, that's funny, but then it's only funny after it happens, and it's like, all right, I actually want to play the game. Oh, wait, I can't. Everything's fucking gone, and these people who now own all the nukes will just nuke me as soon as I try to do something.
That's basically
Then
playing
that
anything in
doesn't-
GTA Online.
Yeah, it's like, then I'm not having fun anymore.
See, as long as they have a single player mode where it's not
There is a
online
single
and
player
it's
mode.
just single player, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there is one. They said there was
because that is what I'm most excited for. Just because I love the stories. Like, I've my first taste of like the Fallout franchise was Fallout New Vegas.
one. Great game. I'm playing that right now.
Fun game. I think I still have it. If not, I might just download it or whatever.
I love the music.
It's
I
it's
love
amazing.
the music.
It's amazing.
I was super pumped when they were showing out Fallout 76, and it was Country Roads.
Country Roads by John, but it's not the John Denver version.
No, it's not.
Take me home, country roads.
Well, the
to
game takes
place
place
that I
in
know.
Virginia, in West Virginia.
West Virginia. Sweet. Party capital, party college of the capital of the United States.
Use words.
Yep, that's the education I got from West Virginia U.
So I think the biggest bummer about Fallout 76 was that it wasn't Fallout 77, because Vault 77 might be the best vault. Because I was reading
Why is
like the
that?
list of like all the vaults.
Is that the one where everyone
that
got
they made.
fat?
No, Vault
No.
77.
No, that's Wally.
Wow, no, there's a vault where like everyone was overeating and then it became socially acceptable to be fat and they made fun of the skinny people. And
Fuck, I want to sign up over there.
there was a YouTube group that made like a whole bunch of fan made movies which were phenomenal, or not movies, but fan made shorts which were phenomenal. And like one of the guys' background, he was an overweight dude that came from that vault. And so, but people were like, "You fat ass," and he'd be like, "Thank you,"
Hey, you look fat today.
with the PH or an F.
Yes.
2 C's. No, but Vault 77 was just one guy and a crate of puppets.
Oh,
That's it. So like all the
So
vaults,
Sesame
all the
Street?
vaults have like special things about all of them. So like
Not all of them.
Vault.
76 is one of like the control vaults.
Yeah, but
where
I'm
it's
saying, like,
literally
there's-
just normal.
Well, no. Vault 76 was they put them in there. It's normal, but after 20 years they open the door.
Yeah.
Well, if there was a game I would actually legitimately want a game about, it's Vault 11. I'll get to that in a second. But Vault 77 was just one guy and a crate of puppets.
I want Vault
That's it.
7-Eleven.
So Vault Tech,
convenience
Vault
vault.
Tech,
Dollar piece for days.
but like there's Vault
Everyone
68.
dies of diabetes.
Vault 68 is a vault of 1,000 people. 999 are men.
What's Vault
One is
69?
woman. Vault 69 is the opposite. There is 999 women and one guy.
That's
Is Vault 69.
ooh.
Vault.
I don't know if I'd be okay with that. I mean, I would, but
It depends. I guess
I guess the odds are ever in your favor.
right. It's like, do you respect all women, or do you? I don't know. What else?
I
do you
respect all women by
I'm
not
just-
Do? Well,
doing
there's
any
nothing.
of
There's
them.
nothing else you can do. So
It's not like I'm
there's
going
the
to
end of my
let fly
statement.
and just be like, and, just go at it with everyone.
Here's my penis. Consume.
Consume me.
I know it's gonna be like that episode of Futurama,
Futurama,
where
yes,
it's
with
Death
the-
by Snoo Snoo. It's just like, "Yeah, that was great, but I need rest. You're
also speaking of Futurama,
gonna be shooting blanks by like girl number like 104.
it's just gonna be moths that come out at that point.
The girl's gonna be like, it's my turn to bang. You're just gonna be like, who am I kidding? I'm gonna be done by like girl 7.
Speaking of Futurama, so
By girl 7, I mean girl 2.
if I do build that Harley, I want to name it. I want to like put like just hand painted letters, Scooty Puff Jr., and then paint Fry on the gas tank and get my license plate that just says I suck. Scooty Puff Jr. sucks. How good would it be a vintage Harley with Scooty Puff Jr.?
That'd be great.
I'm in.
You gotta get Scooty Puff Senior with like the bigger bird on it.
No, that's your scooter that you have now.
Now, my scooter I have now is Conti, okay?
Conti.
Because I named it after FLCL, all right? Glasses.
After I talk about Vault 11, because I really want to talk about that, I want to ask you if you watched any of FLCL.
Nope.
Progressive yet?
Nope.
Episode 1 was really good. 2 was okay.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the full season.
So
You can't just think of the original FLCL. You can't watch them episode by episode
wait a
and just be like,
because there's only 6 episodes and there's 2 done already.
I know. I know how FLCL works.
So Vault 11 would be a game I legitimately want a game about because that one has a really good story.
Drinking
So
in Vault 11. That's just
Vault 11 is they put in I think it was like 1,000 people, and every X amount of time, I think it was like a year. I don't know, it wasn't a year. I think it was like a few months or whatever. But X amount of time, they would get a message saying you have to sacrifice someone to keep the life support systems on, and when we ask and you have no one to give us, we will shut off all life support and you will all die in here.
So they play like do they turn into like the lottery?
I guess you could kind of call it like Hunger Games without the actual Hunger Games
I'm talking
part.
about Hunger Games, like the story of the lottery, where it was like these group of people that were paraphrasing at this point, it's been a while since high school, but these group of people who were sectioned off from like the rest of society thought that there was a god, and each month they would play the lottery and someone would be sacrificed to God if you won the lottery, which is the highest honor that society had, when in reality you were just dying.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like that, but there was no like, it's no high honor. It's just we're going to kill you to keep the rest of us alive. So they did this until they got down to about 5 people.
How many did they start with?
I think I'm not sure if it was 1,000 or 100. There was something.
No, I'm not trying to
What
get.
was the time span between elections or lottery pools?
I have to look it up real quick.
And I'm not
I think
trying
it was
to,
like a
I'm
few
not
months.
trying to get weird. Did they ever think about like farming, per se,
What do you mean?
making babies to be sacrificed?
They didn't specify.
We're gonna talk about that. I think it's a legitimate question.
No, it is
That's
a legitimate. It's legit.
I'm not trying to get weird here.
No. I'm saying
but
that is
agree.
actually
That
like
is
a
a
legitimate
very valid
question.
point.
I don't think they brought that up, but so
That'd be dang all
Vault
I could- that's when it gets real
11. Vault 11 is one of the Vault-Tec located in Major Wasteland. Background. It was created in the 2060s, early 2070s. Social experiment. I didn't know this was run by Joey Salads.
Why are all those black people hitting that car? Wait a minute. Why are those black
the
people
inhabitants of
standing
Vault
around
11
being
were told
what to do? Wait a minute. Is this staged?
The inhabitants of Vault 11 were
Joey
told
Salads.
that they must sacrifice one of their fellow Vault dwellers each year, and that if they refuse, all the dwellers would be killed. In actuality, if they refused, a like congratulations was supposed to be played. Like congratulations, you won the test. So they
All your
weren't
friends are
supposed
dead,
to kill
but you win.
anyone.
Wait, they were not supposed to kill
They
people?
weren't supposed to kill anyone. The Vault-Tec did this experiment to see how long it would take for them to find out that they weren't supposed to kill
That's
anyone.
fucked.
Oh no! Like you look at all the vaults they do, like a lot of them are fucked. So this one,
I wonder how many of them are based around of actual events, because I've been on like a World War II kick, and like I've been doing
I'm trying to find out how
listening
many
and
how many fucking
researching and
people.
whatnot. Just YouTube videos, but like
They're not saying how many people were there, but essentially,
Japan did some fucked up shit,
so they put
similar
in
to what you're talking.
X amount of people were put in there, and they said every year, so it couldn't have been that many people because if they did it every year, they would run out of
But you
people.
said they started off with 1,000 people, right?
I thought a lot of them start with 1,000 people, but this one's not stating how much they started off with.
Oh, because I was going to say, back to my farming theory. I mean, if it's only
'Cause
one
I'm s-
person a year with 1,000 people in the vault, the population should still grow.
It should, but at the same time, you're losing, X
I'm
amount
assuming
of
they
people.
probably
One person a year?
if they're
That's not a lot. I mean,
Yeah, but
They
you're,
got down
you're
to
waiting
5.
until these babies become.
right. So let's
Adults.
Say, but you,
I can't-
do they? Is there an age restriction on the sacrifices?
I don't think so.
Well,
I think it was just whoever.
I was gonna say, if we have 1,000 people, let's just say it's 2080. You got 200 women and 800 men. You're bound to have more than one baby a year.
So they said that the door was never to be unlocked. The vault door was always supposed to be closed.
I think next episode we should bring up a few vaults and like what would you do in the situation.
Yeah. So essentially, just
that'd be awesome.
Just to kind of get to the end of this thing here was so there's only 5 people left. I had to look up and see how many people were in it.
Well, no, we should do some research for the next episode and let's get weird.
Yeah. So there's 5 people left. Every year they had to sacrifice someone, and then when they hit the last 5 people, it was 4 guys, 1 girl. They decided, fuck it, like we've killed so many of our own, like we should just like let's say we're done with this, like we're not going to put up with this anymore. And then when the overseer was like, all right, who's your sacrifice, they were like, we're not doing it. A congratulations went off and was like, you passed the test, yay. And then
oh my God,
they were so disgusted with themselves, they were like, we have to kill ourselves. And only 1 guy was like, no, we can't do it, like guys, we have to live on for them and like tell the story. And the rest of them were just like, no, nope. We fucked up, like we have to kill ourselves.
That's crazy.
So like there's an audio file, it's in New Vegas actually, there's an audio file of them talking or whatever, and then you hear like
I remember this.
They
now.
all were supposed
yes.
to kill themselves, and then you hear a bang, and you hear one, and then you
don't you actually go into that vault in New Vegas?
I think you can, but it's empty at that point.
I have to play this game.
You hear 4 gunshots. You hear a sigh, a gun hit the ground, and then the vault door opening, and it's supposed to be 1 guy left out of the X amount of people who were thrown in there. All those people sacrificed. There's the 5 of them. They all agreed to kill themselves. 4 of them killed themselves. The 1 guy's just like, well, and then he just leaves.
How political does this game get? Because I can see a lot of these vaults being very topical per se.
They get political, but in
not
a
like
different way.
Not political,
like
as in like
political.
you're gonna open a vault and it just says "fuck Trump." Like,
No.
But like,
I understand what you're saying by
for
political,
instance, the notion
but
of
it's
farming babies can almost play into the abortion argument per se.
I understand what you're saying by political, but it's not political in the vaults per se. The vaults kind of are just like a side thing in all reality, while a lot of the political is like the people in the wasteland. Like in Fallout 3, one of the very first things you're put with is you go to a town called Megaton, because there's a megaton bomb sitting in the middle of it. And I think it's actually deactivated.
Why would they make a town around that? What
the fuck else are they going to do?
Either that or they don't know what it is. Because don't forget, these people have been born. Well, don't forget though, these people were born in these vaults.
Yeah, a lot of people either born in the vaults or because in Fallout 4, it talks like it's showing what life is like before, because like they're talking about
what,
like
200 years after the Great War.
Yeah, because the Great War has happened. The very beginning is the Great War is happening.
Yeah,
and a guy comes up to your door and he's like, "I'm from Vault Tech. Come in the vault. You'll be fine." And then you take your family and go into the vault. And then you're supposed to just like wait out like while the Great War is happening, and then they're supposed to unfreeze you. But while you're frozen, your vault gets raided, and they end up killing like most of the people in there. And they open up your vault, take your kid out of your arms,
out of your spouse's arms.
Out of your spouse's arms, whether you choose to be the guy or the girl. They take the kid out of your spouse's arms. He or she is like, "Don't touch my child." They then shoot your spouse.
Who touches the child?
They then shoot your spouse, and then you watch them die as you're sitting there frozen in the vault.
And then you go back to sleep as they take your child away.
And then you wait like...
Well, that was a weird dream.
However many years later, the door opens, and then you get out, and you go out to what the world looks like, and it's just nuclear fallout. And then you find your robot. By the way, you have a robot called Codsworth?
Codsworth, yes.
Codsworth.
That was, I've seen screenshots.
Your robot butler.
Yeah, your robot butler. And you go talk to him, and he's like, "Master, it's so good to see you." And it's like, "Codsworth, how long have you been gone?" He's like, 200 years. And he's like, "Huh?"
What now?
So he's just like, "Yeah, it's been 200 years," and he's like, "Where's
Is that the ball thing with the 3?
With the arms?
Yeah,
it's like the ball. Yeah, that's Codsworth.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's really cool. It's just they're known as like the helper droids or whatever the fuck they're called.
I forget what they are. Yeah,
they're mass produced, and it's like everyone has a Codsworth.
It sounds a lot like the
Mr. Handy.
Mr. Handy, yes.
Mr. Handy.
Mr. Handy is
Mr. Old Fashioned.
Mr. Handy J.
Mr. J. Handy.
But there's his name,
Jonathan Handy at your service.
But yeah, there's his
Any
name,
service.
Codsworth, and he's like, "Where's the Mrs. or Mister?" And he's like, "They're dead." And he's like, "Oh, well, what about? I think your baby's name is Sean."
Sean, yes.
Yeah, it's like, "What's Master Sean?" And it's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, well, shit." So then the whole thing is like
carry
trying
on.
to find your son.
Right.
And so that was Fallout 4, but Fallout 3 was, like I said, like everyone's living.
3 takes place in Washington, D.C., by the way.
Yeah, three is in D.C. and you leave. You're known as the lone wanderer from Vault 101.
This is America.
And you leave. You walk out of your vault while everyone else stays behind.
Isn't that 111?
I thought it was 101.
101 is 4.
101's 4? Oh, it might be 111 then. Okay, you're right.
so.
You might be right. I haven't played 3 in a while, and I played 4 like a year ago, so...
True.
Also, there are 1s and 0s. I fucking get them mixed up.
See, I was also disappointed that Fallout 76 didn't take place in Philly.
That's true.
I am very...
Where does it take place?
Is there a
West
reason
Virginia.
West Virginia, yeah.
why would it take place in Philly?
Philly, 1776, Independence.
Oh.
et cetera, et cetera.
76ers, like...
Gotcha.
There's a lot of 76 you could do with it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was the main
I
reason,
would have
but like...
loved to see a Philadelphia version of Fallout.
I
That
mean,
would be
you
awesome.
could just look at the Eagle after the Eagles won. That's close.
It's just people eating shit in the streets. No, but I think the best place they did take Fallout was Vegas. It's
Yes.
such a cool fucking idea of a nuclear Fallout Vegas, and like they like kind of rebuilt it.
Please tell me there's like zombie Elvises everywhere.
I don't know.
There is Elvis music.
Oh,
And Frank Sinatra.
That was assumed.
Well,
that was assumed.
Well, Fallout doesn't do so much zombies, more so like mutants, and like they're still
Mutant
people.
Elvis.
But they're, like, mutant
Well, they have
like,
ghouls, which are basically
Yeah,
zombies.
ghouls. Yeah, but
And then
they're
they're
still
ferals.
people. But they're still like they still have like.
Well, yeah, you have your
they still
ghouls
have the
and then your
human
feral
conscience.
ghouls.
Does
Yeah.
Elvis attack you? I want an Elvis impersonator. Whether
There
I'm supposed to
is-
get married by him or if he's going to perform for me, I want him to attack me in that
There
game.
is an Elvis robot.
I'll allow it. I'll take it. That's a good compromise.
What's
I'll take
also pretty cool was Glenn was telling me about like Fallout 4 DLC. It's called like the Nuka Cola World or
Yes,
whatever.
Nuka World.
Nuka World. And there's like a cowboy place in there, and like all the robots are like, "Howdy, partner!" Like they're still programmed to think like everyone's kids running through. So it's like it's taken over by like raiders or whatever, and then like you're all fighting the raiders, and the robots come up and they're like, "Well, hey there, partner! Welcome to the town." And it's just fucking, you're just like, ah!
Wait,
Hurry on back now, you hair.
These are the robots that are attacking you or saying, "Hey there, partner."
No, they're
No.
just roaming around. Like, they're still.
So you're mid battle and there's
So
these
you're
just
mid-battle and they're
these
just like,
lovable,
"Howdy."
childish robots.
Howdy, deputy. And like, I think I saw one of them in New Vegas where it's like, I went to a robot and he has like a little picture on his face. It's just like a cartoon deputy, and he's like, "Howdy there."
It's wonderful. It is so great.
It's so good.
That's magical.
I love a lot of shit in Fallout, and oh my god, so those games are just fucking great. But I love them.
Well, I guess it's about that time to figure out what time or what we learned today.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, time flies when you're talking about Fallout,
Nuclear Fallout.
nuclear Fallout.
So what did we learn, gentlemen?
I learned that having a robot that talked like a cowboy would be the greatest fucking thing ever.
Why don't you should get that for Waze or something. I'm sure there has to be someone that made a cowboy Waze saying,
They made
"Turn right."
They made a boy band one. I'm sure there's a cowboy one.
Exactly.
Oh, I hate that one so much. I'll
Me
tell
too.
you
It
off
doesn't
air.
really
Burrell has the boy band one, and then just like,
Try taking a 9-hour fucking car ride. Turn right, turn left.
it's weird because it's like the only
creepy.
part that's boy band is when he says like turn right or turn left, while the other point's like and half a mile. It sounds like he's just like a weird robot.
Yep.
So he's like and half a mile, turn right, and I'm like, the turn right's kind of cool, but the rest of it.
Turn right, turn left.
That's why I always turn off like any voice thing on like anything ever, because I'm just like I don't need it. The only thing I have Waze tell me is the hazards. So if like there's a car on the side of the road, if there's traffic coming up, if there's a police officer, whatever.
See, I need it to tell me, turn right onto or exit to 295.
I hate that.
Take
I
New Jersey
hate
Turnpike, cars only. Like,
Yeah, I hate.
I'm
when it
fine
tells
with
me
that.
shit. I don't need it. I can.
Oh, see, I have to have that.
That shit enrages me because like because it does
See,
that.
it bothers me when they don't tell me where to go because I still pay attention and I'll still look at the screen and like, okay, cool, I need to get ready to look for, 295. Mm-hmm. But then it'll just be like, it didn't tell me to turn here. Am I sure I'm going the right way? Wait a minute, and like gives me that like panic moment.
My problem with that is there was I don't know, you guys probably experienced this too. Coming up Route 1 from Ryder, it had a weird thing where it'd be like Route 1, US 1, Route 1, US 1, and I had a thing where it's
Stay
like
to the left.
Where it's like
no shit because if you go to the right, you're exiting.
And 0.2 miles, stay on Route 1. And 0.2 miles, stay on US 1. And 0.2 miles, stay on Route 1. And I'm like, why?
Is that a Diplo song?
Why is this staying? Why is Route 1 split into US 1 and Route 1 every 2.2 fucking miles? Because it was infuriating. Because I like looked and see where my next turn is, and I had to keep swiping because it's like stay straight, 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 stay straight.
I think they fixed that though.
They did.
They did fix it.
They did fix it. But when we were in college, I faced that all the fucking time. That thing. Because I suck at directions. I'm better now, but when I think I got my car when I was late freshman year, early sophomore year, and I was trying to drive back from Ryder one time on my own, and I ended up in New York City.
How?
Well, it's because there was a sign that was telling me that because. All I needed was, as soon as I was like, I need to get on the Parkway.
By Philly. It's like a half hour out of Philly. How the hell did you get to New York City?
Because in my head, I was like, I need to get to the Parkway. If I can get to the Parkway, I'm set. And I saw a sign that said Parkway and then a turn. But
Route 18?
I think it was take me onto Route 18 or something. And it said Parkway, turn here. And I took that turn, and then like my GPS was like, because that's when the GPS was like every 0.2 miles it switched which Route 1, US 1 it wanted to be. And I took the turn, and it was like, I don't know what you're doing now. I'm going to recalculate. And I'm like, fucking all right. And then I took like 18 to like something else, and I got into something else, and it kept recalculating. So I was like, all right, I'm just not going to listen to you. So then I tried to like take something on my own, and I just saw like, all right, if I go towards New York City, I should get near like my house or whatever. And then I took a turn and ended up going into New York City, and I paid like $14 to get into New York City, and I didn't have the money to do it. So I had to like mail them money later or whatever. It turned into a whole fucking thing. And I got to my parents' house, and they're like, took you 2.5 hours to get back, and I was like, I went to the city. Because then also
I'm
like
not ready to drive.
It was also like while I was on the highway, like the GPS couldn't find out where I was, and I was getting frustrated, so I was just taking whatever turn I thought was right, and just
that'll do it.
Yeah, I didn't know directions then, because whenever I was younger and I got into cars, I didn't pay attention. I was just like, whatever, I'm here.
I didn't know how to drive my own high school. I was bad.
Are you really?
I kind of knew.
Oh, no.
I was better on highways. In my town, I could town like that. I couldn't describe it to you.
Oh, yeah. If you asked me how to get to my house, I would be like, oh, yeah, you go down this way, you turn here, get off here, and then you make a left, then a right, then a left.
Yeah, one guy was just like, he was like, I'm looking for like a Burger King, because like my town doesn't have any fast food joints except for like the Domino's and KFC, but he didn't want those. And I was just like, yeah, so if you go down near where the locksmith is and then take the left there and keep going all the way down, you'll pass the like the train station and like an Irish pub, and like then you'll find it. And he's like, can I get a street name? I'm like, I don't know.
No, you can't. And you'll enjoy it, damn it. Spencer, what did you learn?
Honestly, I guess a more serious note, I kind of learned to respect your athletes, like respect the people that perform sports to entertain you. Like there are reasons why there are safety updates in sports. There are reasons why there's always the conversation of what is the balance between safety and the sport. How much does the safety ruin the sport? Should we make Formula One cars with enclosed wheels instead of open wheel? Should we do this and that? But just remember that no matter how many safety regulations go into these things, that it is always still dangerous. And just
try telling that to football fans.
I would love to try telling a lot of things about football fans, especially that you're not a part of the team. Even if you buy the jersey, stop saying we are going all the way.
Thank you.
No, but I just know. I mean, I say those things a lot just out of fucking habit.
No, absolutely. Like safety updates with the gear they wear, the helmets. I mean, CTE is a major thing. Suicide rates.
Yeah, so many
these
fucking
players.
football fans would be like, "You're making the game for snowflakes, and you let them hit
That's
each
what they probably
other."
said in the
And I'm
1940s.
and
You
I'm
want
like,
to put real helmets on them? I'm a leatherhead since day one. Yeah, you also have like Alzheimer's at 35.
and it's like, yeah, and Tim, I'm over here, and he's just like,
Who's Tim?
Who are you?
They had an SVU episode that like nailed that to a fucking T. There was a guy who they didn't make him an actual NFL player. They just gave him like a fake name, but they put him on like an actual team. He was like a 49ers quarterback, but he was like Joe Smith or something. And he was caught with like he was caught with a prostitute, and they like, because they set it up to get him with this prostitute. And then he's like, "Oh, if I'm in trouble, call my wife." And then she's like, "Oh, is he out doing whatever again?" It's like, "Yeah, he was a quarterback. He has severe like head problems." And then like he was doing something else another day, and they're like, "We just caught you for this." He's like, "What are you talking about? I never met you before in my life." And then it got like this whole thing of like how he is, and then like they went to a court case that he isn't capable. They took him to court to prove that he wasn't with the prostitute because he wanted to, but that he had a mental issue. But then he started to realize that like he had a bad problem, and then after the court case, like he won. I forgot the exact thing about it, but like he won, and then like he's on the steps and they're talking to him, and then like he's kind of realizing that he's fucked in the head, and then he just takes a cop's gun and shoots himself.
Wow.
It was a fucking intense episode.
Wow.
That's all, folks.
Bob, what you learn?
Well, I learned that Brian is awful with directions.
I'm pretty tough.
Yeah, Brian, you're so dumb.
Well, don't forget, you can like us on Facebook at Shibby Shack Official.
Shout out to DJ Quads. We're the fun music to end a dark note.
Yes, the phenomenal music, both our intro and our outro.
Indeed. If you like
You
our
can also-
artwork, check out Bethany's work on Craft Shit.
You forget this every
Dude,
time.
every week you do this.
Hit up on the bingo board. Spencer forgot Bethany's Etsy. Also hit up on the bingo board at the beginning of the episode. He said, "Oh, we're rolling."
Also,
I thought
hit
that
up-
was our thing.
I was about to say something, then we
thought
went into
that
our
was our
E3 our E3 chat, so you can mark that off as jumping in front of me.
Really? I thought it was Crafter's Quest. She is the artist at Crafter's Quest, specializing in D&D stuff along that lines, but there's also really cool stuff, and she does great artwork.
You can also follow us on Instagram at Shibby Shack Official. Find us on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Player.fm.
You ever get on Spotify?
Podbean. We should get on Spotify.
Podbean, yes.
We have the credentials to get on
We're working on
Spotify.
it.
Okay,
We're working
Working on Spotify.
We'll be there
everyone.
soon, hopefully, ish. And pretty much
Indeed.
anywhere podcasts can be found.
Yes.
Just look for us. We're there.
YouTube.
Thank you so much for subscribing.
Have a good night, everybody.
and good night.
I like to.
I like to